Drive Time News Hour underway, 16 minutes after 5 o'clock. Yet to come in this quarter hour, we'll have the ag news. Durum wheat production areas in the U.S. have seen mostly dry conditions this growing season, and we'll hear Rusty Halverson's take on that. And we also have with us here now the General, Redhawks Chairman Bruce Thom, the inventor of the Redhawks, and the first man he hired as general manager was John Dittrich, whom I just learned yesterday has passed away. And Bruce, welcome back to KFGO.
Thanks, buddy. Glad to be here.
Well, certainly glad you could take time. So, John Dittrich, how did he end up being the person that you decided clear back then should be the first general manager of FM Redhawks?
Well, it was kind of interesting, Jack, how that happened. He actually showed up on the day that we had the groundbreaking of the stadium with the Dan Gladdens and the mayors and everything, and he showed up groundbreaking, and he came up and introduced himself. Said, "I'm looking for a job to be a general manager." I said, John, I'm not interested today in talking to you about a general manager. We're trying to have a groundbreaking ceremony and get the stadium up and running. So anyway, that was my very, very first contact with him. He was trying to apply for a job before there was even a job.
And ultimately, I guess, did you contact him or did he contact you again?
Well, number one, he contacted me later on. He gave us the time we needed, but Miles Wolf, who was the commissioner at that time, had known John for the few years before that. And he said he'd be a great first GM for you. And so then I contacted him, and we put a deal together, and the rest is history.
Indeed. How long was he the general manager of the Redhawks?
2 years. 2 years he was our general manager.
And earlier today when we were talking about John Dittrich, that you said that he had quite a career at doing that sort of thing. Getting, I don't know if it was all sports franchises, but getting people going.
It was all baseball related. The whole works. He had 14 different teams that he worked with in his career. And when he was done with us, after 2 years, he went to Schaumburg to start that stadium up, and they were just starting a new franchise also. So this was kind of his modus operandi, is that he'd start them up and then stay a little while and then move on.
Mm-hmm. And what sort of, if you can recall, it hasn't been all that long, but what sort of ideas did he have that eventually culminated in the Redhawks being the huge success it is?
Well, one thing that John really concentrated on was getting out into the public. I think he spoke to every Kiwanis Club, Rotary Club, Lions Club within a 50-mile radius of Fargo. He prided himself on getting out and introducing the Redhawks that way to the service clubs and anyone else that would hear him. And his wife Lois was a very big influential part of this whole team that they have. She worked the tickets and the money end of it and that sort of thing. And so they have we're a team all the way at every step of the way. So when you hired one, you got two.
Yeah, that's probably the reason I know him, because he certainly did make himself available, and he was very friendly. And this is clear back in 1996. And Bruce, before we let you go, I tell you, one of the most exciting parts of my time here in Fargo was the decision that was made to build that stadium, and the excitement of getting the game started on that starting day, because it involved laying sod, that morning or the day before or something like that. We really cut it real close, didn't we?
That was, in fact, we were at the All-Star game earlier this week in Milwaukee, and I talked to Miles Wolf about that very thing, and he said, yeah, that day that you laid the sod and we were going to play that night. He said the sod was awful loose. And all you could say to me was, look up at the sky. The weather looks great. Don't look at the sod. Look up at the sky. He laughed.
Well, it's been a great run, and I want to thank you. And I really did respect John Dittrich as the GM, and like you, sorry to see him go, but it's a pleasure to talk to you, Bruce. I hope we get together again sometime and chat.
Very good. Thanks, Jack, for the opportunity. Bye-bye.
22 minutes after 5 o'clock. It's an 80-degree Friday.